haircut.
Yes.
Who got a haircut? Who got a haircut?
I mean, I assume Leon's talking about me, but also Leon did.
Frederick, you got a haircut?
Yes, I got a
I
haircut.
thought it was Frederick, right? Okay, yeah, that's right.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the BREWDCAST. I am, as always, Bud Robinson. Up here is Leon Robinson. Say hi, Leon.
I'm Leon Robinson. Hi, Leon.
And this over here is Town. He's old, he's hurt, he's tired, and he works with fucking children.
Thanks, Bud. Thanks, Bud.
He's heavily featured in this episode.
This is my favorite piece of wrestling memorabilia ever. This is it. I wanna meet CM Punk. I want him to fucking sign this, and I'm gonna frame it. Then I have to buy another one, but I don't care.
Let's go down to Chicago. You can find him.
He's just wandering around. Oh, hey, look! No, that's just another homeless guy. Never mind.
He really loves it when people come up to him and just start asking for signatures. He loves that.
Well, I mean, as long as especially at 5:30 in the morning at the airport.
Yes.
I'm gonna sit outside his door and stare in the window. Hi.
A couple of my buddies used to train with him when he was still training MMA at Rufus in Milwaukee.
Well, that's cool.
I met him in Milwaukee at Rufus.
You went to Rufus?
Yeah, it was a long time ago, and I saw Phil. I didn't talk to him. I saw him. I saw him. I saw Tyron Woodley. I saw Anthony Pettis. Anthony Pettis looked at me. Anthony Pettis looked at me. He's like, "You're a big fucking dude. What do you do?" I'm like, "I'm a powerlifter." He's like, "Oh yeah, you're a powerlifter, but you think you're real strong." I'm like, "Well, I bench press 500 pounds, So I'm like, "Dude, my own heart." He's like, "Hey, hold this fucking bag for me." Okay, so I hold the bag, and he stands there, face like squared up with me, and throws a kick at that bag. I fell on my ass. I was just like, "Holy fuck, this guy can kick!"
Yeah, Jesus.
Like it hurt me, and I just held the bag. I fell on my fucking ass. That's how hard that guy kicked. Like you have no fucking idea.
He's not a big dude. I've met him.
Yeah, but he fucking knocked me on my asshole with the fucking bag. Super nice guy. Right. Super nice guy, laughing his ass off. Then I told him we should go to bench. I told him we should have a bench press contest. He's like, "Yeah, I forfeit." So I technically beat Anthony Pettis in a bench press contest, but we won't go there.
That's
not saying much, I don't think.
It's showtime.
It's on the record books, though, as a W.
Yeah, officially. Got a W over Anthony Pettis in the bench press department. Even after he made me look stupid and knocked me on my ass. So. Well, no, I saw Punk there, but he was training and he looked cantankerous, let's just say. Like I wasn't gonna go over and talk to him. Like I wanted to. I'm like, holy fuck, it's CM Punk. But then I in my mind I knew the stories and I was just like,
yeah, don't want to bother him.
Nope, yeah. Especially when he's training, I don't want to deal with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Just walked by and stared at him. And I chanted, "Let's go, Punk." No, I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
And he flipped.
I think that's a great segue though, because he's all over the news this week.
I had a different segue. So I just want to put this out there. So somebody posted on the subreddit CM Punk's first appearance on WWE Backstage. They were talking about it because of all the news. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, only one of those people works at WWE anymore. And I don't even know if he does. Booker T.
Yeah, he does.
He does?
That's the thing he was doing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like the back.
Yeah, he works.
Okay.
Booker T still works there. He was all over Mania. He's kind of like, I think he was doing NXT announcing for a while too.
Okay.
But don't quote me on that. Because I won't watch that show. They just scored the lowest rating in the history
of the world.
In the history of being on the USA Network for NXT, they scored the lowest rating this week. I'm like, wow, that's done.
That's pretty bad.
It'll go back on the network. Maybe.
It's where it should be. Yeah.
I would agree.
I think it should be on the network because I think the people that want to see it if they want to see it, they're actually going to watch it on the network. Mm-hmm. And they're not getting any mainstream people with that thing.
Mm-mm.
And it's really fucking hard to watch. It's not because they have like super talented freak athletes on there, which is awesome because that's what they get. But none of them know how to work a match or have any psychology. So they go through these matches that are like laid out by somebody and they practice them like 5 times and they go out there and do them. but there's like no emotion, there's no psychology, and you're just kind of sitting there like, it's really hard to get into the match.
Yeah,
because it's like, oh, cool move, great, okay.
Well, like if you look back at when there was Adam Cole and Kevin Gold, whoever the
Kevin
fuck that
Gold.
is.
Who is Kevin Gold exactly?
He's the best.
It's pretty great, man.
He's gold.
He was on fire and down in Memphis.
That's right.
Oh,
but like those guys have history. I think a lot of the people who are there now, I don't know. I could be wrong, but
they're all new.
Yeah, I think
they're all new guys
new.
who don't have any experience.
Yeah.
And I think like a big flaw of that, and a thing that if you look at, like if you're going to make a developmental company, what you need young guys and you need experienced guys.
Mm-hmm.
And you need experienced guys to take them out there, teach them how to work, teach them how to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have those experienced guys.
Which they had that in 1.0.
Oh yeah.
You know, they had.
And they're trying to go back
and whatever.
And they're trying to go back, but that thing is that company right now is such a fucking hot mess. Who even knows what's going on? Vince McMahon is not in charge. He wasn't there, but then he changed half the shit on Raw. But he wasn't there. Then he wasn't at SmackDown, but he read the script and changed this, changed that. So it's just like, okay, whatever.
So which one
Who's
is it?
telling the truth?
But to get back on track, I feel like I was the problem person who knocked this out of whack. Let's talk about CM Punk.
You ruined the fucking WWE?
I did.
Was you?
Yeah, it was me.
Damn you, Bud Robinson. It was me all along.
Bud Robinson, the supervillain.
Bud, why?
Because I want to
Evil
see
Robinson.
WWE burn.
Made Leon sad, Bud.
I don't know what to tell you. I got everybody out first, so
Buy him a parrot. He'll be fine.
So the 4 news articles that I have seen the headlines of, I'm not going to pretend that I read them.
I read most of them.
CM Punk has said that he wants to return. Over the past few months, he's said this. He's said this multiple times to Dax Harwood. Dax Harwood apparently wants the Elite versus the thing that we want, CM Punk and FTR versus the Elite at All In, which would be fucking, I mean, that would be fire. That would sell tickets for sure.
Have to be the main event.
What was the other thing? Oh, there's also apparently some movement on getting Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks back.
The rumor right now is that
really
Omega signed a contract to come back. He's locked up.
Okay.
I think they're going to sign with AEW.
I think they're playing this. They have all of these big guys coming up. Again, getting off track, but whatever. AEW has all these guys. Their contracts are coming up, and they're playing it. I think that's what they're doing. They're like,
I don't know if the Young Bucks are going to come back.
WWE.
I don't know if the Young Bucks are going to come back.
Why do you say that?
Because I think if you look at this whole situation, the big brawl, the big fight, Omega and Punk apparently had a conversation afterwards, and I think they kind of cleared the air a little bit. But I don't think the Young Bucks and Punk ever had that conversation, and I think the Young Bucks are still a little salty about it. I think the Young Bucks feel like this company is going in a direction they didn't envision it going, like stuff like that. I could see them saying, we're going to go up to WWE. Because right now, if they went to WWE, just hear me out. If they went to WWE and they signed with WWE in like the next, I don't even know when their contract's up. Let's say it's up in 3 months. They go to WWE in 3 months, where are you going to put them? You're going to put them with Cody Rhodes. You're going to put them to that feud with Roman and the Bloodline. Young Bucks against the Usos. It's a match everybody wants. So
Yeah.
I could see them kind of being like, okay, we're going to do it. Because I think they're more salty about that situation than Omega is.
I don't know that I agree with you, but I don't have any like standing to like.
I have no
I have
basis
no idea,
for that.
'cause
I have no basis for that.
Um,
That's just like the vibe that I'm getting. That's just the way it feels.
okay.
I could be wrong. I could be totally
think
wrong.
If they don't come back, I don't see them going to the E, because I think they are among the few. I mean, it's not few, but I think they are among the swath of wrestlers who are more interested in good matches than they are in a paycheck. Again, could be wrong, but they did very well.
I think
in
that's
NJPW.
I think that's a really good thing, and I think that a lot of people come into this business and they think that it's all about the good matches. And once I start doing the good matches, I've had good matches here, good matches there, then suddenly it's like, okay, these people are going to offer me a shit ton of money. Okay, it's time to take the money. Because how much time do the Young Bucks have left?
I mean, Sting is how old? And he just said tonight that he's probably running low on Showtime. Like,
yeah, but the Young Bucks have a different style.
Yeah, but
they have a different style, and they're. I don't know. I'm not saying they're gonna go. Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
I have no basis for that. But I just, like, in my mind, it's like, it feels like they're way more disgruntled about everything that happened than anybody else. And I could see that being their basis to saying, fuck this, we're leaving. Should they leave? No, I don't think so. I think they should stay. I think their best spot is in AEW. I think it's where they belong. They're part of, like, the core of that company. But that core is changing. I think that's another big piece of this is you've got all these up-and-coming teams and up-and-coming talents. You know, when it first started, it was all about Omega and the Bucks and Hangman and, like, that whole thing. And it was about that certain group of guys. And now here we are a couple years later, and we haven't stagnated because we've moved on. Because right now, like, the top guys in that company, like MJF is having a feud with those other three guys. That's huge. You know, Jericho's kind of pushed. Jericho's not as big a part of that show as he used to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a guy like Orange Cassidy's getting the push. Tag team division's totally fucking different. Granted, FTR, but FTR's, like, incredible. But, you know, like the Ass Boys, who I'm just going to call them the Ass Boys. I know they're not the Ass Boys, but they're Ass Boys to me. And there's other tag teams that are, like, coming up. So I just
to me.
I think there's a big change. So, I mean, I think at the same time, if you're the Young Bucks, it's kind of like, do we go up there, which is the biggest company, where you make the most money? Do we go up there and do we do our thing? And do we win? If they go up to the WWE and they win the WWE championships, tag team championships, you're going to be hard pressed to not say they're one of the greatest tag teams of all time. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like that feather in the cap, and I could see that mattering to them a little bit. But then maybe it doesn't. Maybe you're right. But I just feel like I never thought Omega was going anywhere, because Omega's too. I don't think Khan would let it happen. I think Khan would match whatever he could money-wise. And Omega also said he doesn't want to go for money, but hey, what are we doing?
The kitties. Hello, kitties.
It's going to backfire, and that cat's going to scratch you.
Yeah, now she's like, what the fuck do I do? Come on.
Showing her butthole.
Come on. There you go. Sorry, I threw us off the rails again. I'm doing horrible at keeping us on track.
Professional. We're the most professional podcast on the internet. Back to Punk, though.
Back to Punk.
I'm ready for him to come back.
Yeah.
Like, I am. Like, we were all at a point where we didn't think he was going to come. We were pissed or this or that. It's time for him to come back. It's time for him to do his thing. If you bring him back and don't do the feud with the Young Bucks and the Elite, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but also maybe they don't want to work with him. But I still think it's time to bring him back.
And that would be fine. I think they'll find shit for them to do. Like, even if they put CM Punk with FTR, they have shit to do. There's the House of Black. There's, there's the teaser of what is it, Bullet Club Gold, or whatever it's called now.
I like that too.
Mm-hmm.
I like that too. I think it's time for Punk to come back. I think everybody's ready for him to come back, and I think it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it's just inevitable at this point. I'm not against it. I'm for it. I'm ready to see him. I'm ready to see angry Phil, though. I don't want to see happy-go-lucky trying to be nice Punk. I want to see fuck you Punk. I want to see the Punk that just goes. Give him a mic and let him go. Let him be that guy. You know, like when he was feuding with MJF and he said, "You're just doing my shtick." Yeah, he's right. That's what MJF is doing, what Punk used to do when he was younger and he was pissed off in the indies. Let's see that Punk again. Let's see what he's got. Let's see if he's still mad enough. Let's see if he can still do it.
Yeah.
It'll be great. It'll be great television. So
Let him go scorched.
Yeah, that's what he needs to do.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to come back. I think it's going to be quicker than we think. I think it's going to be quick.
I vaguely I thought for sure I was going to see him tonight because they're in
No,
Milwaukee.
I didn't think tonight, but I think are they in Chicago anytime soon? Because that's when they'll do it.
I have no idea.
But then again, if you bring him back in Chicago, he's going to get a babyface pop. So maybe you bring him
Yeah.
back somewhere else.
He did. I mean,
How far out is the Wembley show?
August. So they're adding more shows. I don't know how I feel about that. Because you're going to run All In, then you're going to run All Out like the next week.
which sounds sexual.
But I'm saying like you're going to run it. Well, no, All Out would be like a month later. I take that back.
Is All In the replacement?
No, because they're running both.
It's confusing for them to have All In and All Out. That's just my opinion. But like,
I think it's just one of those two.
Revolution we had. Double or Nothing is May 28th.
mm-hmm.
That's the one here in Vegas.
Road Rager. Forbidden Doors June 25th.
Holy fuck.
Fighter Fest is in July. All In is August 27. All Out is in September.
What?
That's a
They're
lot
doing
of shows. It is summer though, like, and they're. I mean, I don't know.
I guess my question is this: is All In going to continue to be a yearly show, or is this a one-off?
I don't know.
Like that would be my big question, because we're going.
I feel like it'll be a one-off.
Because Double or Nothing, then Forbidden Door. So Forbidden Door is in June. You don't have anything in July. I mean, you have Fighter Fest, but that's usually an episode of Dynamite Rampage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have
that's like 2 weeks worth usually.
Oh, it's usually Rampage and Dynamite. They do it like a 3-hour show, so they put a pay-per-view in that 3-hour show. Fight for the Fallen is the same thing in July, and then All In August, All Out in September. Okay.
That is a fuck ton of shows.
Yeah. But no, because like look at what WWE does.
And
these,
I mean, but WWE like
PLEs every month.
their shit.
Yeah, but we're not having one every month. And some of these are like Battle of the Belts. They have Battle of the Belts listed on here. Is that really technically a Battle of the Belts? Usually is. I hate to say it's a throwaway, but it's kind of a throwaway. There's never been a title change on Battle of the Belts, and nobody really watches Battle of the Belts. It gets pretty abysmal ratings usually. The thing that I don't like, and we talked about this last year, was going from Double or Nothing to Forbidden Door, just boom, boom, because it feels too close. That's the only thing I don't like. I don't think, and I'm kind of going to feel the same way with All In and All Out.
Mm-hmm.
But you push All Out from September to October, and then you push Full Gear to early December, because you could do that. I mean,
you could space it out, but like, then again, maybe All In is just another cross-promotional event, like a really big one, obviously, but like in the same way that Forbidden Door is cross-promotional between AEW and NJPW, maybe All In is just everybody come wrestle, because like that's how the original All In was. It was a lot of guys who wanted to like show up to a big indie show.
I like the way they have special Dynamites. I think that's awesome. I think that's good, and I think it, I like that. And they do a pretty good job building up those shows. I feel
like they're going for like a Clash of the Championships.
Yeah.
Clash of the Champions thing with those, which works.
But I would be totally okay if they ran a Clash of the Champions type show, where they came in and they said, okay, we're going to have a special on like a Saturday night, and we're going to run like a 3 or 2 hour show on a Saturday night where we actually put some effort into it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that. Because Clash of the Champions used to be fun. But Eric Bischoff decided against that because he's like, it's basically like we're paying for a pay-per-view. We don't make money off of it. So let's just make it a pay-per-view. He's talked about that once. I like Eric Bischoff, which is weird, but
okay,
whatever. Yeah. Needless to say, Punk's coming back.
full circle.
Yeah.
No,
Well-
we talked about that. Like he's clearly coming back, and he wants to come back, and seems very excited, which is great because that's what we got. That was the Punk we got a year before all of this shit happened. Like when he debuted, he was happy to be there. He was excited, and that's.
It sounds like he's excited
now.
to be there and excited to come back.
Yeah. So great. Come on out.
I think so.
Let's see him and MJF again. Let's see him and Mox in a Rocky 2 style match. Or maybe not. He probably
Should we talk about Dynamite a little?
Yeah, we can. Sure.
I know Leon didn't watch it, but we don't care about Leon.
Rude. I care about you, Leon.
That Orange Cassidy match tonight was amazing.
Holy fuck. I
thought for
sure he was losing it.
I did too.
And
I would have been okay with it. That's the weird part, because normally I wouldn't be okay with it. But like every night he goes out there, he's putting on like the match of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Like that guy is reliable. That guy's money, and it's freaking awesome to see.
And seeing Buddy Murphy, this is the first time I've seen Buddy Murphy on his own in a very, very long time, and he's fucking awesome. Like
he is,
and that entrance tonight was awesome too.
I liked everything. There was nothing better. But if Buddy Murphy would have won that belt, I would have been like, "Fuck yeah, let's let Buddy Murphy go."
Yeah,
because Orange Cassidy can reinvent himself pretty quick, and I think, that was just a good match. That was just a good match all around. That was fun. It was good. It was into it, and it was one of those matches where you didn't care who won because it was that good.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think of the opener?
I unfortunately missed that one. I saw like
so
the
that
last
was
2 minutes or something.
Darby and Swerve. It was okay.
Yeah.
It was pretty run of the mill.
I heard they had a couple of cool spots.
They always have cool spots. Those guys. Darby's such a fucking lunatic. The promo with Sting.
Holy shit.
Was fucking cash money.
So,
oh my god.
Here's my thing. Okay, the 4 pillars. If we're gonna ascribe to that, MJF, Darby Allin, Jungle Boy, and the other guy.
Hey, now wait a minute. You gotta say names here. You gotta say names.
Darby Allin, MJF. I can't remember the other person. Darby Allin,
Jack
MJF,
Perry.
Jack Perry. I lost it. Fuck.
Guevara.
It's Sammy Guevara. Like, okay, I do not like. I don't think that they are. See, you should, yeah.
Did you know that in his entrance music, when they say his name, Sammy Guevara, that was actually Leon doing the voiceover for that?
I knew that, actually. Yeah, I booked that. Yeah,
they paid him $11 to do that.
Okay, that is slander because it was $12 and a Baby Ruth. Yeah, we don't fuck around.
He also got a chick. He also got a kiss on the cheek from Ty Conti.
No, that was a misprint. It was actually a rotisserie chicken from Ty Conti.
Oh, okay. Here, I got you a rotisserie chicken. Oh my god, thank you.
So, we have no rails on this episode. I don't think of any of them except for MJF.
When they're not even there.
That's true. As like particularly good promos. They have all 3 of them given amazing promos. Darby, Sammy, and Jungle Boy have all given like shockingly good promos, and I think part of that is that they're starting to we're starting to see them be a little bit more fluid about how they're doing promos. And also, I mean, Darby doesn't really speak all that often, and when he does, it's like 7 words, right? So I'm glad they have them on the mic, and I'm glad that they're showing a different side to these guys, because I think it's bringing them up even more.
I would agree. And I think I think we're at a point where those guys kind of got to start taking over the company.
Mm-hmm.
Of those 3, the one that's knocking it out of the park is Jungle Boy.
Yes.
He's getting it. He's clicking. His promos are getting better. His timing is getting better. But I've been saying this for a long time. He's the fucking guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy when the time's right and they give him that strap. They're gonna be off to the races. He's the one. But I think Guevara eventually be world champion. I think Darby will too. I think Darby kind of is like a Mick Foley champion, though, a guy that'll get it out of respect, and it won't be like a super long or productive reign. It'll just kind of be one of those, And Guevara, and I think Guevara screams transitional champ too, because I don't think Guevara is going to have a run. Those two guys just they're not.
I think the difference between Sammy and Darby, though, is that Darby can have amazing matches with everybody. Not to say that Guevara can't, but he is more suited for people who are like him, who are like have a similar style to him. He doesn't scream, like he doesn't scream like underdog, but he also doesn't scream, I'm the big badass who's gonna whoop you from pillar to post. Like, he says stuff like that, but he still gets his ass kicked from time to time.
Yeah.
So I could see the transitional champion thing for him. But maybe not. Like,
you never know.
He's under the tutelage of Chris Jericho. I think
it kind of depends on how these guys get hot and what happens too.
Yeah.
But just looking at him, like, I don't know. Do you think Darby's going to be wrestling in 10 years?
Maybe. He seems to love it. Like,
have you ever listened to him talk? He always says he wants in and out. He doesn't want to wrestle forever.
Okay.
And he's wrestling like he is a fucking death wish.
Yeah.
That guy has to be
does.
just in pain.
Yeah.
Constantly. He's great, and I love Darby, but man. But he can't. It's almost like he can't calm down and not do stuff, because then he feels like he's not. I don't know. It's pretty rough. Crazy.
Just like fantasy booking here, I'm thinking like you could give him the title and then like make that his last go in AEW. Like, maybe that's the end of his contract and then he walks away.
Maybe. I'm curious to see what they do with that title, though, because with like Moxley running around and Danielson running around and Jericho running around and the Elite running around, are we going to really keep those guys away from the title?
Yeah, why not?
Or are those guys going to come back in the title picture? Well, your biggest stars, you know what I mean? But I think one of the biggest things that I'm feeling right now with this company compared to the other one that I don't like, that main event world title picture and the E is so stagnant and fucking boring. It's just like, it's the same guys. We're just picking from the same group. Whereas in AEW, it's like, those guys had it. We're going to move them on. Here's a whole new group of guys that are going to do it.
I think that is the biggest difference, is that, and maybe to some degree, this is like us being conditioned, that we think that the top guys have to be vying for the title, but they don't. And I think AEW has shown us that. You have FTR, who for the longest time did not go for the AEW titles. We have the Young Bucks. We have Cody, who like outright said, I'm not going to challenge for the TNT title, which kind of bit him in the ass, but like,
yeah, he regretted it.
Yeah.
He's doing great now, though.
Yeah.
I heard they got the Stardust suit out for him.
Oh, good.
Leon loved Stardust. It was his favorite wrestler.
I did like Stardust. I really enjoyed the way he kind of threw himself into that role.
Got a little long. Little long in the tooth after a while, though. Initially it was funny, but then it was just like, holy fuck, this sucks. Yeah, what else you got on that list of yours, bud, to talk about tonight?
Oh fuck, where is it? There we go. So one of the things was All In.
Yeah, we touched on that. That'll be huge for him.
So Kota Ibushi has confirmed on several platforms that he wants to be a part of it. Will Ospreay has teased that he wants to be a part of it.
I read an interview with Kota Ibushi where he said that he really could see himself in AEW.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of style he wants, and I think he will end up there. But I think what you said either last week or the week before, probably the week before, because last week was just bitterness. I think what you said before, where he's going to go try some other stuff first.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's going to do, but I think he's going to end up in AEW.
Yeah.
That's what he's been doing for a minute now, though.
Yeah, and I think he'll end up
true.
there sooner than we think.
There's a lot of people that he came up with over there now.
Yep.
With Kenny Omega and the Bucks, and now Jay White and not OJ, that's not his name, Juice Robinson. God, I can't remember names today. Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. I read an article or an interview with him where he said that WWE teaches, because he was at the PC, and WWE teaches a very particular style of wrestling that is focused on entertainment, and he's like, that's fine, but there's more to it, and I like doing the other stuff more.
Yep.
So like, if you say something like that, why would you then go back to that company that you're like? It's not exactly bad mouthing, but you're not exactly saying that you want to work there. So I could see him doing that. He could go back to NJPW, but why? Like, the world is his oyster right now. He could go wherever the fuck he wants. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm happy that guy's kind of getting to do what he wants to do, you know, and getting out there and getting to experience that stuff and getting to work with those other promotions. But I think he ends up in AEW.
Yeah,
which I think is fine. I think he'll be a good fit over there. Put him in the Bullet Club with Jay White.
I don't know if we would do that.
I'm kidding. Don't do that.
I'm reading
the new leader of the Bullet Club.
I'm reading
Heel
here.
Orange Cassidy.
I would be for that. I would be all for that. I'm reading here that apparently there is, like, Dave Meltzer is he's stating that Goldberg having a match at All In is a potential. And I'm like, fucking why? Why? Sorry, it just made me laugh. We don't have to talk about that.
No. But if you want to put names on there, and if you had a way to use them,
that's the key right there.
The only problem with Goldberg is Goldberg isn't going to come in and put anybody over. Okay, if Goldberg came in and got fucking crushed by Powerhouse Hobbs, sign me up.
Yeah.
If Goldberg came in and got crushed by Wardlow, sign me up. But Goldberg is going to come in and like fight, you know.
I don't know. I don't know if that was a Goldberg thing or if that was a Vince thing when he was in WWE and he did a lot of crush matches. I feel like that was more of a Vince thing.
So,
particularly at this age, I think Goldberg wouldn't care.
When he fought The Fiend and beat The Fiend for the title, he did not want to do the ending that Vince wanted to do. Vince wanted The Fiend to win. Goldberg said, well, my character shouldn't lose because it's going to make all the kids unhappy. That's a true fucking story, and that really fucking happened.
Oh, that's
okay.
ridiculous.
So you're if I'm Goldberg and I'm going to come in, I'm coming in to run through somebody and do my Goldberg shtick, and that's all I want to do because I'm Goldberg. My retirement match is going to be 3 minutes, and I'm going to just crush somebody. You know, would the AEW audience accept that fucker?
I don't think so.
Because the WWE audience, the WWE audience doesn't accept him. Like when he comes out now, they fucking boo him. So if you try to put him in that, like that is not a setting for him.
I see no plus side of bringing him in.
No, I don't either.
The crowd is going to shit all over him. He's not going to fucking help build anybody. Like
the only way I would bring him in. The only reason I would bring him in is if he came in and like fucking put over a Hobbs or a Wardlow. But when I say put over, I'm talking they get in the ring, those fuckers run through him in 2 minutes and just fucking destroy him. That's the only way I would use him. Because it doesn't pay to have him. No, he wouldn't. That's the thing. Goldberg's got a pretty big ego. That's kind of just who he is. He'd probably want to come in and like fight Action Andretti and beat him in 2 minutes, which does nothing for Goldberg, does nothing for Action Andretti. But that's like the kind of thing he'd want to do.
Yeah, maybe.
Put me up against that guy. That guy's not believable. That guy could beat me up. That was why he wouldn't fucking feud with Jericho. What's not believable, I would kill him in a fight. Then they got into a fight and Jericho beat him up. So there's just some irony there.
I heard that, yeah.
Front face lock.
That's just like the time JBL got his ass kicked by Joey Styles. That's my second favorite story. They were on a European tour.
I don't remember this.
They were on a European tour and JBL kept bothering Styles. Styles finally hit him in the fucking face. And like he dropped JBL.
I love it. I love it.
He's hardcore.
I this is not on my list, but I would be remiss if I didn't bring it up. Your guy, Mark Briscoe, is with your favorite faction now.
He's with them?
He's teaming with Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal and well, it might just be those two. Yeah.
I thought he was feuding with him.
No, he's team. I'm gonna look it up to make sure.
I thought he was feuding with him.
But I'm pretty sure that's what they said on Dynamite.
I thought they were fucking with him.
Yeah, they didn't turn him heel. There's no way they turned Mark Briscoe heel.
2 months after
I saw that, and I saw some interaction they had, and I'm just like, ugh. But I thought they were starting to feud with him in ROH. I could be wrong.
Oh, god damn it.
I saw Jeff Jarrett, and then my response was kind of like, I don't need to read this.
Your eyes glossed over.
Yeah, like like fuck off, Jeff Jarrett, you asshole.
The hell are you on, bud?
If I'm remembering this right, what's happening and what's happening is I think he's feuding with them. I think he's starting a
tweet. All Elite Wrestling does Sussex County Chicken, which is Mark Briscoe, really want to work together with Jay Lethal. This was at Battle of the Belts 6 that they said that they mentioned this.
Okay. So then what I think is happening, what I think is happening is he wants to get Jay Lethal to like be his friend, and Jeff Jarrett doesn't want it to happen. So I think they're just kind of putting them in some kind of storyline. They're not actually a team. I don't think he's turning heel. I think he's trying to turn Lethal face.
No. Briscoe's not turning heel. That seems pretty clear. But I'm saying that he was teaming with them this Friday in some capacity. They are not clear about that.
This is more Jeff Jarrett than I need to talk about. So like whatever. We all know Jeff Jarrett sucks. I don't agree with Mark Briscoe losing to Samoa Joe. I think doing that at ROH, that pay-per-view was stupid.
Yeah.
I don't think you put him in that match because you have all this feel-good shit going on. You can't have this guy. It just should have done it. Have him fight somebody else, build him up a little bit. Because I get not wanting to take that belt off Samoa Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I totally get that.
But I think it was more about... I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about that because they're building up Mark Briscoe, and they made a big deal about how Mark Briscoe and Samoa Joe have a history. So maybe they're telling a longer story, but it doesn't make sense to like take the title off of Samoa Joe.
No, and I agree with that. I don't think Briscoe should have won that belt from him. I don't think that match should have happened. But I'm not the booker.
It was a sick match, though.
Yeah, but it doesn't surprise me.
And
I just think it hits you in the feel goods. It's not so good in the feel goods. You know, you get those moments, those feel good moments. You kind of have to take them. You can't like
bad
tell
touch,
us.
Townie, bad touch.
You can't. You can't. You can't build a guy up, put him in a big spot, and then have him look like a fucking idiot and lose.
Yeah, but
I'm talking about time out. I'm talking about something else. My bad. Continue.
Okay. I'm lost.
Still pissed. Cody Rhodes.
Okay, fair enough. But Mark Briscoe did not look like an asshole in the same way that Cody Rhodes did.
No, I know. That's why I said I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's be this.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Townie's clever.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. He's sorry he lost, even though the heels cheated.
Jay, did you know that Jey Uso gave Roman Reigns his first loss, his first singles loss? I read that on the internet, so it's a very reliable source. I think
What?
maybe
I'm gonna surprise you right now, but I really like the Usos. I
I-
like their matches. I like what they do. I think they're great.
Mhm.
I don't dislike Roman. I think Roman's really good at what he does. Holding a belt hostage for 3 years is the problem. And I've had more time to process this now too. And I understand what they're trying to do. They want to get that 1,000 days. They want to make that big thing. They want to make him seem like we can look back on this and what a great run it's been and da 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 da. The problem with it is the run isn't a great run because nobody cares. Everybody hates it. And you're at a point now where, but we're making more money than we ever have. Well, yeah, because you've got $1 billion TV contract, because you're doing all this other shit. Your product, if your product was good, imagine what you could do. And that's like the biggest flaw with this whole thing. Because even if we just fucking tune out and don't watch, they're still gonna make a fucking ton of money.
Yeah.
You know, they're pulling raw ratings of like 1.8 million people. And they're still making money hand over fist. And it's like, well, people have changed the way they watch. Streaming's killing it. And no, the product just sucks. If the product was good, people would turn it on. It's not good. And it's boring. Like WWE is boring. It's boring and it doesn't make any logical sense. And they have one person who gets pushed at the expense of everybody else. That's how they are. And that's kind of how they've always been. You know, when Hogan was there, it was Hogan over everybody. Then it was, you know, in the mid 90s, it was weird because it was Hart and Michaels. But when Austin got hot, it was Austin over everybody. But you also had The Rock, you had different stars. But then when Cena took over, you had John Cena as the main star. And then you had everybody else. Nobody else mattered.
Mm-hmm.
And then it went right to Roman Reigns. And even though nobody fucking wanted him and they booed him out of arenas, he's the biggest star. Everybody loves him.
His steel blue eyes. Let's not forget about that.
That's a great one. But now we're in the middle of this 1,000-day just like fucking reign of fucking terror. And it's funny because it's like this character is better than the old Roman, but with the old Roman they were smart enough to take the fucking belt off of him. Mm-hmm. This Roman has just been, and people are just if you ever want to, go ahead, Leon.
I think I figured out my biggest problem with the whole reign, pun intended, has been that literally nobody who he's feuded with this whole fucking time has even been at the same level afterwards, much less improved. Mm-hmm. Every fucking person to a man that he's feuded with in this whole bloodline thing, this whole tribal chief thing, has been worse off afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but here's another thing.
Nobody's even stayed on the same level. Everybody's been kicked down a few notches.
There's another guy. There's another guy.
So bad.
There's another guy that's doing the same thing. That's Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt does the same thing. If you feud with Bray Wyatt, it brings you down. And it seems like these top stars that they have, when they push a guy like that, they don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they don't know how to keep people on that level. Because if you feud with Bray Wyatt, it takes you down the shitter. If you feud with Roman Reigns, it takes you down the shitter. You're gonna go get beat by Roman Reigns, and it's not even a question anymore of whether or not you're gonna lose. It's how are you gonna lose? Are you gonna lose clean, or are you gonna get screwed? And if you lose clean, it's like, wow, you look weak.
Nobody fucking loses clean to him either. Everybody fucking it's always.
But it's
Solo
not.
Or the
but
Usos,
it's not. It's
and then they always sell it like he's this unstoppable, fucking unbeatable monster. When every fucking time it's through bullshit shenanigans,
and they do the same fucking finish, and the good guy always looks stupid. That has been WWE for 15 fucking years. When the baby faces are stupid.
Nobody even on the mic says anything about it. Like, oh man, I got fucked. No, it's always, oh, he's just so unbeatable and I can't do anything. And it's just fucking atrocious, man.
The baby faces in WWE are a special kind of stupid. And they have been for so long. Yes. And it's like, they come out into the ring and they'll go in there and they'll get beat up by like 6 guys and they don't have any friends. They're stupid and they don't have friends. That's how it works. That's the WWE. Because they always want babyface in peril. That's what they always want. They want that underdog babyface who has to fight through and make it somehow. And that's doesn't always need to be the story, because sometimes, like Bill Goldberg in 97, 98, when he was fucking murking people, was a babyface. And that they didn't build him by putting him in that situation. They built him by having him fucking destroy everybody. Same thing with Steve Austin. Was Steve Austin getting his ass kicked every week? No, Steve Austin was going to beat the shit out of everybody. Steve Austin was awesome. That 97 Steve Austin, he wanted so bad to be a heel, but he couldn't be a heel. And then it was just like, that was an amazing run. But they can't replicate that. Vince has never tried to replicate that, because I don't think Vince understood it. I think Vince understands Hulk Hogan and John Cena, and he wants to book his guys that way. I want to have a big babyface, superhuman, Superman style star, because Hogan was, if you really look at it, hulking up is like the stupidest fucking thing ever.
And yet, like every like so many baby faces still do it.
I pop like a motherfucker when he. I just watched. What did I just watch? I watched Survivor Series 90 from start to finish the other day. Don't ask me why. I don't know. It's just like I was like, I want to watch something. I watched that. The Undertaker debut was so incredibly well done. Like that was a masterpiece. I don't know how they pulled it off. Then you watch Hogan, like he gets beat up. He like takes 2-3 earthquake splashes, which like quote unquote puts people in hospitals, and he fucking hulks up, kicks out, body slams him, leg drops, pins him. It's just like, here's this guy that you've built up that has just fucking destroyed every baby face you have. He gets to the top guy, and then it's like, oh yeah, by the way, we're just going to neuter you because your finishing move that you've killed people with doesn't mean anything. So it makes the heel look stupid, and then it makes all the baby faces that lost to the heel look fucking stupid. And I think that's just a big problem with their style of booking. And I think it has been for quite a while.
30 years.
Baby faces are dumb in WWE.
And they have no friends. No, that's absolutely
And AEW doesn't do that. AEW doesn't do that. They're much better with that. Once in a while, like last week when Hangman got beat up, but that was a story within a story. Because that whole Hangman Kenny Omega thing, and plus the Young Bucks were not there because they were hurt. Like that whole thing that's shaping out somehow. But normally, if
you look at like I talked about last week or the week before, Jade Cargill is a very similar thing with Roman Reigns. Like those people don't do as well afterwards. But like you look at MJF, he fought with Wheeler Yuta and brought both of those guys up. Like they both came up like Mox. Like I can't in this moment think of a single world champion who fought somebody and the other person was worse off after having lost. Maybe Hangman, but like
no,
even then,
I would say not even Hangman.
Murder Bird, like he had that match with the Murder Bird, and
Murder Bird,
he was like, that was a big deal match. It was a kick-ass match, but like it was also like it was a big deal in the 3 weeks that they spent. I don't even think it was that long that they spent hyping it, but still, doing better than WWE because they understand. I think they understand better that you can't put the entire company on one person's shoulders.
Well,
And
I think
Vince does. Vince thinks that's the best way to do it, and then you run guys like Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, and like
I think the other piece of that is their idea in the WWE is that we're building up this guy as a monster to feed to our top babyface. We don't have anything, so once he loses, we have nothing planned for him. Look at fucking King Kong Bundy. At WrestleMania 1 and 2, dude was like one of the top heels. WrestleMania 3, he fought a bunch of little people. And then he was gone. It's just like you built this guy up, you fed him to Hogan, and then it was just, he was done. He had nothing left to do. Same thing with, in a way, with Andre. Andre was a little different because he was Andre. But like he lost to Hogan at WrestleMania 3, and then it was just like a steady. Granted, his health was gone, but after that match, it was just boom. He just went downhill, And they just kind of systematically do that's what they do. That's why Khali got a main event. That's why, some of these guys you sit there like Umaga. Umaga was actually not bad. He was a great fucking heel there for a while, but they
Mhm.
fed him to John Cena, and everything he had that was cool was gone, and nobody gave a shit about him. And they just constantly do that with people. They build them up, feed them, done. And they don't have a way to rehab those guys. Are just done because you've taken away what made them a threat. So it's gone. You're done. And AEW doesn't do that. They have a plan. Even when Hangman lost to Punk, they had a plan for Hangman.
Mhm.
When Moxley lost to Omega, they had a plan for Moxley. When Omega lost to Hangman, they knew what they were doing with him. Granted, he was hurt, so he had to go get surgery, but they knew what they were doing with him when he came back. Or when Jericho lost his title to him, like, they have a plan for what they're doing. Even when Danielson lost to MJF, they had a fucking plan. And look what they did. That match happened, and then Bryan comes back, and look what he's doing now. Like, so they had a plan for what they were doing. And I think they're better at that. They just don't want to feed people into a buzzsaw and then forget about them. Because if you invest all that time, and that's the other thing, you invest all this time in a person, and then you just, that's it. Because like in 1990, when Earthquake destroyed Hogan, if you could have kept him viable, that dude could have been a world champion. Legit could have been a world champion. He was that good. And he if you ever actually watch him work, he was a pretty good worker for his size. Like, he was just a big dude who could work, and he was a monster. You could have put him in with Warrior. You could have had him beat Warrior. You could have had Warrior Hogan at WrestleMania 7 or Earthquake Hogan at WrestleMania 7. You could have had Earthquake Warrior at WrestleMania 7. There were so many other options that you could do. But when you bring a guy in solely to feed him to Hogan, you fed him to Hogan, now what do? Now you just have this guy here that can't do anything. And that's what happened to Earthquake. When you put him in a tag team, and then it's just, you just gradually fall down the card. Yeah. Yokozuna, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Except they made him champion because I don't know. Should have made Hart should have beat Hogan. Made him tap out to the sharpshooter. But he was a champion. Then once he lost to Hart and kind of lost that mojo, then he was nothing. He just completely collapsed and he was nothing. You know, he also got too big. But there's a ton of guys like that over the years that you look at. Like, they build this monster up, they feed him. This guy's got nowhere to go, and that's how WWE books. They book for whoever's winning that match. Right now, it's all about Roman. So when you're going to lose to Roman, and what am I doing Monday? Well, we don't know. We'll see. We don't have a plan for you. You know, and it seems like they have a plan for Cody, but I don't know. I don't care.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I mean, just that's. But so nothing they do surprises me anymore. Even Austin to a degree.
Yeah.
When he fought Dude Love back-to-back pay-per-views, after the second pay-per-view, Dude Love was pretty much done. Like, there was nothing left for that. And then he turned into Mankind, and he was literally floundering until he got thrown off the fucking cage. If he wouldn't have got thrown off that cage, he never would have been world champion. Never would have happened. Like, because he was done. They used him for what they want him for, and they were just letting him go down the card. The reality of Mick Foley is that should have been his run, those two matches, and then he just fell on the card and was doing whatever. But because he, like I said, because he got thrown off that cage, he was able to find a spot. You know, wasn't the case with The Rock and Austin, because The Rock is different. You know, like, he was different because he was a star and Austin was a star. But, you know, a lot of these guys, you just go out there, you lose to this guy, then you're done. That's just it. It's game over. It's really disappointing, especially when you invest in a guy.
Yeah,
and it works a little better when you have a heel, because you don't want people to invest in a heel anyways. You want people to invest in a babyface.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but the problem is now is we've been having babyfaces thrown at Roman Reigns for 3 years, for 3 fucking years. And if you invested in any of them, you look like a dipshit. You know, couldn't be Braun, couldn't be Bray Wyatt, couldn't be, you know, Cody got fed to him, Seth Rollins got fed to him, Sami Zayn got fed to him, Drew McIntyre went into that freaking match in the UK and came out of that looking like an absolute doofus. Just an absolute doofus. And where is he now? Oh, he's fighting for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. A guy that 2 years ago beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania is now, here he is. So it's just like, WWE, man. It's wonderful. Totally wonderful.
Totally wonderful.
And depressing. Not the AEW though. They do a better job.
Yeah, that's.
I do think
I think, like, piggybacking off what you're saying is like WWE puts all of their money and time and effort into one person. Or in the case of like Rock Austin, it was 2 people. But it's not it's not a wide field. In AEW, like, they invest time in all of their wrestlers. And some of them get better coverage than others. But like, if the Murder Bird shows up and you're like, holy shit, I love this guy, you can watch him on Dark or Elevation, or I don't know if this is actually true. I don't know how much he wrestles for them, but like you have a lot of these wrestlers who, like, if you like them, you have ways of seeing what they're doing and you have ways of cheering for them. Like, because they invest time and money to some extent to
even
not all, but like most of their wrestlers.
The 2 big examples I'm thinking of guys that were feted champions in AEW are Murder Bird and what's his fucking name? The guy with the hat in the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Angelo.
No. The big guy that used to be
Hager.
Yeah, Jake Hager. I can't believe I forgot. I haven't seen him in a while. That's why. So Hager was fed to Moxley, and straight up fed to Moxley.
That was an empty arena one.
Yeah, I think it was. I think you're right. That was a great match too.
Both count anywhere. They beat the shit out of each other.
So they fed him to Moxley, and I don't think they had a huge plan, but he was part of something. So it's kind of like, here he is, and he's still filling that role. And then Murder Bird was also fed to Moxley, and Murder Bird was fed to Hangman. But those guys are able to, like, they didn't lose their aura. Like, those guys still, like, they're fucking badasses, and you know they're badasses, and they're going to come back and they're going to do something. So they do such a better job with that. It's like people have spots in that company, but your spot isn't where you're stuck. If something happens and you get hot, boom, here you go, boom, here you go. And I think Tony Khan's big thing is he wants to elevate every single worker that he has. And he has a plan to do that, and you have a direction, and there's a thing you're trying to do, and you're everybody. Whereas opposed to WWE, look at Zack Ryder. You're here, you stay there, nothing changes. Your gimmick doesn't change. You're fucking this.
Look at how much time Zack Ryder spent on that character and developing it. Like, he had he had like a YouTube thing and like got huge, and they still didn't fucking invest in him. Like, he had this huge following, and they're like, well, I guess you can fight John Cena, but you're gonna lose. Like, fuck you.
Well, they made him the U.S. champion, but then they made him his girlfriend to be Eve Torres. Eve Torres, who now does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and she's an awesome person.
She did that before that.
She married one of the Gracies. She's awesome. She's like an awesome person. She was back then. I always liked Eve, but they put those 2 together, and then it was like this first thing, and then the storyline came between Kane and Eve, and then he got beat up. He looked like a total loser. They just didn't do. They fucked him over. They fucked him over because he didn't get over the way they wanted. Because they never wanted him to get over. Because they look and they say, this guy should be over. This guy is this. This guy should just be here. They put you in a spot and you stay there and they never want you to leave. Just like Kofi. Kofi Mania was insane. Kofi Kingston winning that strap was like, should have been the main event of that WrestleMania. Because I think the main event was like Roman and somebody, because it's WrestleMania, so it's clearly Roman. Like, that should have been the main event. That should have been the match. Everybody was like, holy fuck. Because that was insane. And then they just, like, they had this title reign. He lost to Brock Lesnar, and the next week, he's back in the fucking mid-card doing humor comedy segments with the fucking rest of the New Day. What the fuck? And he's never come close to that again. They've just ignored that it happened. You know, and it's just, that's who they are. That's what they do. That's just what they do. But AEW doesn't. So I'm excited to see how they bring Punk back. I'm excited to see what they do with FTR. I'm excited to see where Orange Cassidy's going. Because he's getting just worn the fuck down. Which is, I like it. I think it's great. And he's putting on these they're building him up. you know, I could see if they play their card right, so you could get an MJF Orange Cassidy main event at a pay-per-view, which I would be just on board for. I don't think Orange will win, but you could totally do that because you've built him up enough. But yeah, I think he's going to lose that strap soon.
Yeah, I could see
that. I think they're setting the table for that. Kind of like they did with Darby Allin when he kept having those matches, getting his ass kicked.
Mm-hmm.
Then he lost to, I think it was did he lose to Miro?
Yeah,
he lost to Miro. I could see that happening. Something there, and it might be Buddy Murphy. But I don't think it should be. I don't think it should be because I don't think Buddy Murphy should have 2 belts. He could, but
I mean, if it's anybody, I would expect it to be Malachi. Like anybody in that group.
Yeah, Malachi does not need that title.
No.
Or Brody.
Brody would make a lot of sense.
Brody would make a lot of sense. The problem with a guy like Brody, though, is the way they book him. How would you... I'd almost rather not have Brody have that title. Because how do you get it off of him? You know what I mean? Do you bring Miro back? Do you do something like that? That international title right now means more than the fucking TNT championship.
Yeah.
Can we all agree on that? Like, Orange Cassidy has elevated that belt in the past, 18 title defenses in a few months.
They have not done really the same amount of work with the TNT title. It's just sort of sat with either Wardlow or Hobbs, which is fine. I just hope that it doesn't stay that way for too long, because otherwise.
What'd you think of the main event tonight?
Fuck, what was it?
Jericho.
Oh, it was Keith Lee. Oh, I loved that. I understand why they did the ending the way they did, and that's fine.
I thought their timing was all over the fucking place.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just thought there was a few moments where Keith Lee got COVID really bad, and I don't think he's fully recovered yet. Because the Keith Lee I saw in NXT and this Keith Lee are not exactly the same.
Okay.
It's like he lost about a half step. And that, granted, he had really bad COVID, so I don't know if that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that fucked him up. I think it did. He looked tired at times, and some of the shit he fucked up. The match itself wasn't bad. I thought it was good. I thought it told a good story. I understand what they're doing with Swerve. They're clearly going to set that match up.
Mm-hmm.
The Swerve thing feels like they don't know what the fuck they're doing with Swerve.
Maybe
they just keep putting it with people and hoping that it'll work.
Although I think the putting him with the putting his group with the Embassy makes a lot of sense, because I think both groups apart are kind of meh, but you put them together and then you have Nana and Swerve, who are these driving charismatic people who elevate the people who are in that group.
I like Swerve. I think Swerve could be one of those, could be real huge for them.
And I heard Brian Cage got re-signed by AEW as well. Yeah.
He chose to, yeah, which is smart for him because I think they're actually using him now the way they want to.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I did not like about tonight, Jeff Hardy.
Okay.
I just don't want to see him anymore. And I don't dislike Jeff. I like Jeff. I think Jeff's amazing. I think Jeff has had an amazing career. He looked like shit. He's old. He's hurt. He's fucking tired. I don't know if he works with children, but he's got a lot of substance abuse things.
Yeah.
And the issue I have with that is, if you keep letting this guy come back and you keep doing shit with him and he keeps beating himself up, he's so hurt. He's using substances. He's gonna fucking die. I don't want Jeff Hardy to die because I love Jeff Hardy. The shit Jeff Hardy did, some of the stuff he did, especially when we were younger fans watching that shit in the Attitude Era. The shit that fucking guy did.
Mm-hmm.
But he's paying the price, and it's at this point, Jeff, you just need to, So my hope is that they bring him back and they're not going to make him do really fucking crazy shit. Because if they make him do really fucking crazy shit, we're going to be right back to where we were. That was not a feel-good moment to me. I saw him come out, I was just like, ah.
I had read somewhere that he was in the back, and I was like, I hope he doesn't come out. And then he came out, and I don't know.
It's good to see him,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want that. I want that guy to get the help he needs. I want that guy to feel good. And I want that guy not to fucking take every drug known to man and do all that shit.
I do feel it's necessary to point out that in WWE, the moment that his suspension was up, he would be back on that card.
Yeah.
And I think AEW has been good about saying, take the time you need, stay away from the ring, like, get good.
Yep, and they did, and he was gone for a while.
Yeah.
He was gone for a while. My concern is that if you have to use that guy the right way. Don't have him wrestle every week. Use him when you need him, and don't let that fucker go on a ladder. Keep him off fucking ladders.
Well,
he does not need to jump off a ladder.
I mean, he's gonna do that. Like,
but he doesn't.
I get what you're saying, and I agree. He doesn't need to, but
yeah.
he's going to, because that's the kind of wrestler that he is, and that's the
it's
kind of person that he is. He's like a daredevil. That's what he does.
You look at the Hardys and Edge and Christian and all the shit that they did together, and they're all still wrestling, which is fucking amazing for starters. But like Edge's, spinal thing, then he's okay. He's wrestling now. He's in a good spot. Christian's in a good spot after the concussion thing.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Hardy looks like he's fucking can barely walk anymore. He's just beat up. Jeff Hardy's beat up. Like, those guys probably had the greatest tag team feud matches of all time. Like, that feud in the early 2000s, nothing was touching that. But now here they are, and it's just like, I don't need to see Jeff Hardy go through a table or jump off a fucking ladder or do anything stupid. Like, if you want to come out and you want to do a match, great, do your match. Do what Sting does. Have a real simple match. Do your simple moves, your simple spots. Don't even do the fucking swanton anymore. Like, just...
I mean, put in, like, Sting has a couple of crazy spots. Give him a couple of crazy spots. Like, but
give him crazy spots that are fucking safe. Because every crazy spot Sting has done is one, like, I have 4 guys catching me. I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not... I'm going to jump off this fucking ladder and land on this fucking thing, and it's going to fucking, like, kill me. Like, be smart about what you're doing. And I don't think... I was not a fan of that. And it's not that I'm not a fan of Jeff Hardy, because I do like Jeff Hardy, and I like the Hardy Boys. I think we all do. Mm-hmm. Even if we give Rainville shit about liking the Hardy Boys. Like, the Hardy Boys were fun. The Hardy Boys were amazing. They were incredible. And they still are. But we're at a point where it's like, I don't need Jeff Hardy from 1999. I need Jeff Hardy from 2023 taking care of himself a little bit. So.
That was the part I was just about to say. He needs to take care of himself.
Yes, and they need to make...
He does that.
And that company, AEW, needs to make sure he's taking care of himself. They got to be on top of that, because otherwise we're going to have another fucking video of him being drunk out of his mind at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Or he's going to fucking hit a tree, or he's going to overdose on some shit. So, like, that scared me, but...
Yeah. I get you. I understand. Yeah.
Other than that, good Dynamite. They're doing the tag team match with the women next week. I don't know what to think about it anymore. I like the Outcasts.
It's difficult to like book them right now because there's not
a lot
of
Britt Baker and I like Jamie Hayter. I like all 5 of them, but it's just like the Outcasts seem like a weird combination of the NWO and DX, and it's like they're cosplaying as those 2 groups together. And I have a really hard time with Britt Baker as a face. There's a lot of weird combinations going on there.
I have not. We've talked about this before. Like I'm starting to see that maybe they're not going to do this turn between Britt Baker and the other one. Yeah, that's her. Jamie Hayter. But
I think Leon's right. But they're delaying it. Something that they should have done 5 months ago, they're going to do in a year.
But this is exactly what I was thinking is like, I'm looking at the Outcasts and I'm looking at this tag match and I'm like, are they going to do it next week? Are they going to have her join the Outcasts? Because I think that's like a perfect way to do it. Is you have her join her and Ruby Soho have been bitter rivals since she arrived. Like, that's a huge swerve. And I know that we give people shit for like the swerve for the sake of a swerve. But I think in this particular case, we can see where Britt Baker would put her differences with Ruby Soho aside so that she has some backup. Like, she's needed backup in the past. Her as a heel needs backup. Like, so it makes sense for her to join that group.
I don't think it does. I don't think they'll do it because I think the money match they have with the women right now is Britt Baker and Saraya Part 2.
I think it would. I think that would make sense in at All In, honestly.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah,
but I don't think they're gonna do that. I think the issue is you have those 5, and nobody else matters.
I don't know.
No.
They're making Riho a big deal. They're making Willow Nightingale.
Riho just got her ass kicked tonight.
That doesn't mean that she doesn't matter.
I love Riho.
They make a big deal out of Riho when she's there.
And they do, but Riho is clearly not on the level that those 5 are on. And I love...
I disagree.
She's not on their level.
I disagree.
She's not being booked like that. She's not...
No, you agree with all those people. But I think on a I think she can wrestle. She can out wrestle most of them.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the way they're perceiving her is she's not on their level.
That's fair.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying she's not. She's fucking amazing. I love Riho. But you don't have. You have those 5, and then you have a bunch. You have Jade, who ain't ready for prime time. And then you have a bunch of people that are just kind of there, and they're all kind of working their way up.
Yeah.
Like, what's her name? Nightingale.
Mm-hmm.
She's great, but she's not ready.
She's also she's not on TV. Yeah.
Yeah, she's great. Like they have some great potential, but they don't really have they don't really have enough. So that whole women's division is these 5 having this feud, and there's an imbalance. It's 3 on 2.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't really have because they got rid of what's her face with Britt.
Reba.
Yeah, they got rid of her because they thought that, from what I read, they don't think that she needs somebody like that in her corner because it makes her look more heel. I disagree. I think it would have been awesome. But if I'm Tony Khan right now, I'm fucking calling Sasha Banks. And I'm just like straight up like, hey, I get you want to do Japan. I don't care. Can you come here? Can we get you in? Can we get you to do some stuff? Because we fucking need you. And they do. Like they need another body.
Yeah.
And she would be money. No offense there. That was done on purpose. But
I don't. She's not going to.
I don't know if
she wanted to do New Japan. They have her. They're investing a lot of money in her right now. I don't think she's leaving. At least for a year. No. What I'm saying is do both, but do AEW a little bit. Just come in here and there, do some stuff here and there. I don't think I'm not expecting her to be an every week person because she's clearly invested in New Japan. Yeah. But I'm just saying whatever I would have to do to get her to come to this company and do some shit. Like Will Ospreay does. Like Aussie Open does. Like, Yeah, I could get behind that. Yeah.
Because that to me is like, she's really good.
Mm-hmm.
She's really good. Like she didn't fit the WWE style because she was better than that. Mm-hmm. She's more of a true in-ring worker, and they're more entertainment. But just I would do whatever I could to get her. And I think the problem you have is when you group all of your top stars together in a division, it makes the division feel kind of empty because that's how that division feels to me right now. No offense to Riho, no offense to whoever else. I don't even know people in that division right now. But no offense to those other people, it doesn't feel like anybody matters. And it doesn't feel that's the only division in that company where I don't feel like they're fucking building anybody up. They're just there, and they're not doing anything because the rest of that company is we're building this guy up, we're building this guy up. Then with the women, it's like we've got these 5. Watch these 5. They're amazing. Okay, and
but great. Who else you got? Like, and they have a women's roster. There is a decent sized women roster, and they're just not using them.
But those 5 are doing their thing, and every other woman in that roster is busy losing to Jade Cargill.
It's true. I would imagine that some of them are showing up on ROH as well. Which great, but it's not the same. It's not the same. It's just not the same.
Mm-hmm. They've got to get a little more.
Went over there.
Who did? Athena's there. You're right. Yeah, Athena's there. She's doing good.
Fucking awesome.
But she also got fed to Jade.
Why the?
Yeah.
I mean, I know why they did it, but it's stupid.
The story is that when Chris Statlander comes back, she's beating Jade for that belt.
Swell.
I don't know how close Chris Statlander is, but get it on her. Chris can work. Chris Statlander would be a great TBS champion. That belt means nothing right now. It means just absolutely nothing. If nothing fun ever happens with it, nothing exciting ever happens with it.
When was the last time it was on TV?
Battle of the Belts.
Was she on Battle of the Belts?
She fought.
Oh, Billy Starks. Okay.
Who she killed.
Of course she did, but she
They
got a
just
contract,
invested.
though, so that's good.
They invested big money in Billy Starks, which I think is great. But again, you invest money in her. Let's fucking build her up. Let's do something.
Yeah.
Let's see some stuff. So that was one thing, I guess, when I watched Mania was the women's division in WWE has a lot more depth.
Yeah.
You know, like Ripley is incredible. Charlotte's really good. I'm trying to remember. Bianca Belair.
They also invest.
Bianca Belair is really good. Asuka's really good. The people in the like Liv Morgan doesn't get enough credit.
No.
Liv Morgan's fucking amazing. You know. They have a lot of really good women in AEW. I think they have them. They're just not doing anything with them. You know?
It's true. That's 100% true. Yeah.
And they've got to build them. They're not there right now because we're not building them. It's just we're sitting there and we're letting these people kind of... Yeah, they're good. Watch them work, but we're not going to do anything with them. We're just going to let them sit there and whatever.
Watch them on Dark.
Yeah.
Elevation.
They have good matches and all, but yeah.
Which is fine for a little while. But if you're trying to like build up a Willow Nightingale or even a Riho, like you can't leave them on Dark. You got to give them more time on TV.
It's amazing to me that the first two champions that they've had now don't do anything.
Yeah.
Like Riho and what's her name? Nyla.
Yeah.
Nyla.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I don't.
Yeah, Nyla's awesome, but she's not. Well, she's in a tag team with Marina Shafir, I think.
Oh yeah.
Which is cool.
The problem.
But they don't fucking do anything either. They don't do anything. They just don't fucking do anything. So
again, I think they're featured well on Dark, but that's not very helpful. You know, like.
No. No. Do you have anything else, bud?
I don't have anything else.
Leah, do you have anything else? Tom doesn't have anything.
So we don't have anything else. I have been Bud. That was Town. That was Leon.
I've been Leon.
We're gonna go now.
Leon pooped on a turtle.
He sure did. He sure did. I saw the turtle, and that turtle was
Twice.
Oh, use that in confidence.
Bud.
I love it.
Bud.
Yeah.
Bud.
Yeah.
Don't have Leon poop on you. It won't work the way you think it will.
You'll get superpowers.